Hey guys, I'm middle of work, but while I was at this drive-through, I wanted to go ahead and get started on the Venus and Cancer. Okay, all right. Venus and Cancer. When you think about Venus and Cancer, um, especially our Venus and Cancer men, or just Cancer men in general, you know, there's something that you need to know about these men, right? Cancer men or Venus and Cancer men, you got to look at the Cancer symbol. It's a crab. Think of all of the things that a crab does. They move fast. They have one claw that's outwards, and they have one claw that's protecting. And then they're hard on the outside, but they soften the inside. Another thing that a crab does, what helps a lot, is water. Okay? Emotions, anything dealing with water. So if you are dating or with Cancer, Venus or Cancer man or Cancer male, one of the most healing things to do with them is go somewhere where it has a lot of water. Okay, beaches, Niagara Falls, cruises, anything around water is refreshing and healing to them. Another thing that y'all must know about a Cancer male or a Venus and Cancer male, they hold a lot of things in. They bottle a lot of things inside, a lot of emotions inside. A lot of times they feel binded to certain people because the thing about Cancers in general, they're so nurturing. It's a nurturing sign. It's the mother of all 12 zodiacs. So they come off very, very nurturing. So their hard exterior is a persona that they have to uphold because their manhood is always being challenged due to the fact that they have a nurturing energy about them. They love children. They love being around children. They love nurturing people. But, as an adult, it's kind of hard for a man to carry those same kind of things without their children involved. It's so hard for them to be like that with other people a lot of times outside of their career. So even though, especially women, sometimes we think it's okay to challenge a man's manhood or sexuality due to his nurturing abilities. However, if you have not healed, that's going to be quite hard for you to understand that there's men out there that actually do have emotions and feelings, and they would appreciate it if you valued them. And what Cancer coping mechanism does, they don't say anything. They bottle it all in for a long time until they get to the point where they can't take it anymore. And a lot of times whenever they do express themselves, people would like to say, oh, you're just being too sensitive. When truth be told, they have taken so much emotional abuse from so many different people for so long to the point where they feel like they have to break loose. And people who do not understand boundaries or even understand their unique nature of either sense of humor or just family-oriented nature, those type of people will feel like they fallen victim, or they have to be in defense with a Cancer or a Venus in Cancer to the point where it becomes an issue where it escalates, instead of looking at it from a family thing. You ever notice any Cancer you run across, they have a nurturing family-like tendency, aura about them. I don't care, man or woman, but we're talking about the men right now. They have this thing where they have to nurture you, but that's because that's part of them. So that's something that you just don't just take advantage of. That's something that you embrace. If he has not shown you any type of proof that he has something else going on in his life, then outside of who he is as a man, you should not go off judging what you think it may be. Some men have been raised in a home where they were beaten for being nurturing. Some men have been abandoned for being nurturing. Some men have been feeling outcasted for being nurturing. So when they get to a place where they finally say, I'm not going to be that anymore, and they call you as a friend, they get binded to that, and you will sit there and say, da, 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 over and over and over again. And a lot of times, a Cancer male will feel as if they're being controlled. They don't like to feel controlled. But even when they are feeling controlled, it's hard for them to express themselves. So if you ever notice, how I noticed that my brother is a Cancer himself. So, and he even would say, Cherry, you never took no mess. But one thing he definitely understands about me is I'm going to always protect him, because I know that people don't understand him like I do. So when it comes down to a Cancer male, you got to understand they have a sense of humor that is so funny that you got to understand. Don't look at them as an enemy. Look at them as, okay, if my brother was to say the same thing, I probably would have laughed at it. But because I don't know him, I should be offended? No. If you are your authentic self, nothing that anybody says to you should offend you, especially a Cancer male. If they have not said, oh, I got a bone to pick with you, because usually, let me tell you something about Cancer men, they will tell you if they have a problem with you. You got to look at it just like how a mother. I know so much about Venus and Cancer, because I'm a Venus and Cancer, but I'm not a man, so I can't, you know what I'm saying? I know about these things. People don't understand why I'm so protective. I'm very protective, not just only over my son, but over the city, over the state, and the people that's surrounding and represented. Why? Because a lot of times people don't know. They only been taught just to be quiet, or they've been silenced. And I have always been that rebellious child to say, oh no. But that's because I have a mothering, nurturing side of me that said, hell nah. I'm one of those mama don't play that shit. You understand what I'm saying? I mean business. So sometimes that can be a little bit too much for people, especially if they have not been in a home where they felt like they were getting the type of love that they require, especially a water sign male, Venus water sign man. It's very, very hard for them to be connected with someone who will understand them, where they can actually emotionally get naked with you without feeling like they're going to regret it later, or it's going to be thrown back in their face, or they're going to feel ignored or alone, or feeling like they're a single mother themselves, if you catch my drift. Basically alone with the child all the time while you go and do your thing. And I'm talking to the women when I say this. Women, sometimes we'll get caught up in what we're trying to do, that we don't pay attention to the men, okay, especially if they are a water sign in general. So this is the part where we have to understand, where we need to take accountability on some things, and when you do, stand firm on it, but don't feel like it's okay for you to be disrespected, but just hear them out, and don't be quick to judge about how they feel, and just let them know that even when they express those things, they might repeat it a couple times, but if it gets to the point where it becomes detrimental, you gotta let them know, I thought we have an understanding where you meet someone half the way, because some people have not been completely emotionally balanced to the point where they can actually stop repeating the same cycle of trauma or an issue. But that's usually because it's something much more deeper than the situation itself. Sometimes it goes further back, but they want to say it, but they don't know how to say it. And we're talking about Cancer men, because like I said, these water signs are deep. Sometimes it gets so deep that it's just like this. I'm not kidding. You see this piece of paper? This is trauma. This is how Cancer stores trauma. You see how small and balled up I'm making it? They'll turn a problem that was this big and fold it up this little and tuck it so deep down in their mind, but that they damn near forget it. So they find themselves reacting to a certain situation, not realizing it's deeper than that. When it comes down to dealing with a Cancer male or Venus and Cancer male, you gotta understand, you have to you can't just listen to what they say. You gotta feel where they coming from. It's deep. It's way deeper than the surface. Just because they have a hard exterior, that doesn't mean sometimes they don't want to cry, or sometimes they don't want to hurt, or sometimes they, don't think that they don't want to feel that way, or they don't feel that way sometimes, because they do a lot. I don't want to end it without telling y'all some good things outside of traveling, going by water, that'll help your relationship and improve. Hold on real quick. Okay, guys, I'm back. Things that can help your relationship with a Cancer man. Bubble baths. I think I dealt with a Cancer male Venus. I don't think I dealt with a Cancer, but a Venus and Cancer. I did, for Valentine's Day, I didn't want him to get me anything. I'm one of them females, like, don't buy me nothing for Valentine's Day. Don't buy me no gifts on my birthday. I like just because gifts. But when I was in a relationship with him, I didn't want anything Valentine's Day. What I did was, for Valentine's Day, I planned everything out. I got a room for us. We dated for years, but I wanted to do something different. I went to Walmart, got a whole bunch of little candles, light all the candles in the room, made him a bubble bath, and gave him a body massage and some masculine lotion, to do it. Then I got this recipe offline I never done before, and I cooked it. And I don't even think I was 17. You know what I'm saying? And I did that. And my mother helped me figure out this recipe, and it came out really good, like lasagna type thing, but it was ziti. I had a homegirl who went and got this beverage for me because I went and I had some champagne glasses. I had it all set up. And everything went well. He liked it. I think that was the only Venus and Cancer I ever dated. But he really liked it because, I didn't want him to do any work. I did all the catering. I did everything. I got that. Let me open the door for you. I did everything. I made him feel valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the best way to describe it to a woman is to describe it from a woman's perspective. You know how when your child on Mother's Day get you flowers. It's not out the store, but they got you some flowers, or they wrote you a card, and they did it with their own creative handwriting, but you love it so much because it came from the heart. That's how Venus and Cancers are. As long as it's from the heart and you're not trying to suck up to them, you got meaning behind what you're doing, they gonna always remember you. They gonna always treasure you. They always gonna appreciate everything about you because you didn't do it out of a tradition. You did it because you really valued what he was feeling and what he was saying, and just the effort that really count. So that was it, guys. I gotta go. I gotta run. I got this DoorDash. I love y'all so much. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned for the other 2 water signs.